Hello, Internet, and I have been gone the past few days. I've been really busy the past week or so, but my schedule is clearing up, so I will be getting through my backlog very, very slowly. But yeah, anyway, jumping right on in. Welcome to my live reaction for Eden Zero, Chapter 32. When we last left our heroes, they had logged into Digitalis, and everyone except Rebecca had made characters that were vastly different from their real-life selves. Homura is a prince. Wise is a woman, who I believe is meant to be parodying, the kind of, like, straight guys who, like, play female characters in third-person games to, like, ogle them. But Mashima is hopefully accidentally stumbled into a bit of transphobic stereotypes with the whole trying to take a bath with the Rebecca thing. It's not too big a deal, though. And Shiki is a super fucking muscle man who is really funny. Also, Pino is an adorable human, and I love her. Anyway, Shiki is forced by the others to get his regular body back. But he keeps his Graham-Bell hair. Anyway, they ruminate on NPCs for a while, and they do some investigating. And they find that Hermit may be in a town up north, so that's kind of, I imagine, where we're heading, this chapter. But at the end of last week, a scythe-wielding man who seems to be able to harm NPCs, has arrived at their inn looking for a new girl. We'll find out more about that in Chapter 32, Jamaroff the Murderer. We open with a cover page at the inn. Rebecca's in bed. Hello. Y'all have bad sleeping habits. We see? Let's look at the best ones here. We got Shiki, like, hugging Rebecca, like, snoring loudly. Wise is, like, curled up in the corner of the bed. Pino is clutching a tree that's fallen onto, Rebecca's bed. And Homura takes the cake with her legs, her, like, lower body on one bed and her head on the other. It's hilarious. Yeah. We have a double-page color cover spread. Chapter 32, Jamaroff the Murderer. We have the whole gang playing some kind of game together. We see, interestingly enough, for the first time, that, Ivory has white hair. I pictured her as more of a blonde. Also, had we seen Pino's pink hair before? I feel like we must have, but it's kind of new to me. Especially with how, like, white her body is in her robot form. Anyway, the bonds with friends shines in the vast outer space, a first magnitude star. Finally, getting to the chapter itself, we open back on the Eden Zero, with Hermit, still sealed away in Digitalis, as Witch, looks over her. Hermit, I can't believe you would close off your heart. What in the world's happened? Your soul will be saved by the Demon King, no matter what. So please. And Ivory calls her over. Witch, come look at this. And Witch comes over, and we see, like, data readouts. It seems some strange data is running through our line. We've been hacked? Moskoye! And Moscow pops up behind her. Eden Zero security is top of the line. But that's only when Hermit was around. I don't know what they're up to, but if we do nothing and something bad happens, there might be some side effects to those in Digitalis. And Witch, like, thinks to herself for a second. And then we leave them to head back to Digitalis. So yeah, there's something weird going on with the Eden Zero. I don't know if we'll find out more about that this chapter. Might be Draken. It might be Justice and his crew, recognizing the ship from the Skull Ferry. I doubt it's Elsie. Elsie is too much of a friendly face, to really be suspicious. But anyway, back in Digitalis, the gang is traveling, north. Let's go! To the town north of here where Hermit is. That information isn't 100% reliable. And of course, Homer is still on her fucking horse thing. And Wise is looking around. I can't believe this is what a fantasy world feels like. Does the professor want to ride? And Happy is also on the horse, by the way. I can't believe in this virtual world you can feel and smell things. It's just how real this world is built. And Shiki, like, grins. All we need now is some monsters to battle. Speak of the devil, there's this gigantic, like, frog monster looming over Shiki. You had to jinx it! And Shiki's like, eyes wide. It's here! There was one of these in Granbell. Although it was just a machine. No one ever came, so it never really got used. This monster must be happy. I mean, I can totally annihilate this thing, right? I guess so? Here we go! And Shiki like is ready to fight. But the monster talks. Oh, please stop just a moment. Whoa there, traveler. It talked! And Shiki like stops and looks at him like quizzically. I am not an evil monster, kind sirs. You sure? But wait, since I'm an event boss, maybe I am evil. And Rebecca like looks at him quizzically. In the town north of here, Krysta will hold a quest for a stolen hidden jewel. Adventurers will need to find the jewel and return it to the cave in which I live. However, in a heartwarming story, I use that jewel to protect the people. Ah, I can't believe I just spoiled it! And Wise like cuts through. We've got no interest anyway. And the monster goes like hide and like sulk in a corner. And got all depressed. It's fine, we don't care. Why would and Pino speaks up. Why would the boss be in a place like this? That's right. Krysta, the town north of here, is in deep trouble. It was only a rumor, but it turns out to be true. Jamarov, the murderer. He appeared in the town. So yeah, Jamarov is definitely the guy from the end of last week. A murderer? What a strange name. He just kills players and NPCs without a second thought. He's a very terrible guy. Is that guy a player too? It would seem so. Wouldn't that result in a ban if he killed an NPC? But somehow, this player doesn't get banned. Thanks to him, Krysta was totally destroyed. And it was such a beautiful town before. All of the players and NPCs were killed. Even the event flag crumbled to pieces too. I'm not entirely sure. If the players die in the game, is it like do they die in real life? To quote SAO. If so, who would play this game willingly, first of all? But it doesn't really matter for the NPCs, but the players definitely would. That's why I ran away from there as fast as I could. Gah, just thinking about it gives me chills. And Shiki doesn't even, like, seem to be too concerned about all this. He's really oddly focused on Hermit. We're trying to find a girl named Hermit in the northern towns. This girl, do you know about her? Do you mean that player who just stares off? You know her? Yes, she just sits there and does nothing. I see her on the hill on the outskirts of the village quite often. That's awesome! Hermit is really here! Thank you so much, Monster-san. There's someone weird wandering around. We better get a move on. Right! You guys are going to Krysta? That place is already... We're going to pick up our friend. There's nowhere we wouldn't go. And yeah, they still seem just really oddly not concerned with Jamarov. I don't know, it doesn't quite seem in character for them. Anyway. The monster just looks at them, like tears in his eyes. The town of Krysta. And we see it's not exactly in a stellar space at the moment. They wander around the ruined town. What a terrible sight. There's no one around. No, and Wise points out, no, there's someone over there. And they see someone, and this person notices them. Welcome to the beautiful town of Krysta. And he's fading away. Welcome to the beautiful town of Krysta. Like a programmed NPC. And they all look at him horrified. Well, come. And the NPC is stabbed in the back with a scythe. Oh! I misread the situation. The inn at the end of last chapter wasn't our hero's inn. It was in Krysta. Okay. Because outside, from the doorway where the NPC got stabbed, out walks Jamarov. That's why NPCs are so bad. You can always tell they're just programs. And he, kicks her into pixels. No good at all. And Shiki, looks at him. If I do go hunting, it's gotta be players. Yeah, now we see Wise with, fear in his eyes. Or more like concern. Right. All you players. Yeah, And yeah, we see Jamarov and all of his... He's a fairly, eccentric character design, let's be honest. This guy can't be that rumored murderer. Just listen here. Since I heard new players just arrived in Digitalis, I thought of coming to greet you, but ended up in the wrong town. It was so terrible. Must have been a veteran player who looked like a gorilla's party house. I don't have a lot of interest in guys or gorillas. I don't know where gorillas are coming in here, but alright. I don't like them at all. That's why, look, over there, and he points off to the side with his head, and Shiki looks just a bit further, and I think Happy's seen whatever it is. Oh. A bunch of NPCs fucking skewered on the pike of the tower. Kind of reminds me, not quite though, of Chelsea and I Kinda Got Killed. Admittedly with less lollipop heads, but still the semblance remains. Help. And Wise and Rebecca look on in shock. And Homer cries out, "They're still alive!" No. And Shiki jumps up to go to save them. Oh, and Jamarov looks on in shock, and Shiki's reached the tower. It's not like they can be helped anyways. Byahaha. I'm not helping you log out. Byahaha. And even if you do log out, you're pretty much down in the real world too. You jerk. If you let them log out, then I don't get to see their last moments. That's no good. So are they still dead in the real world? Who would play this game? And we see Shiki is now shaking in anger. They're dead. Well then, it looks like self-introductions were out of place. I'm Jamarov, a selected player, a winner in real life, good friends with the Draken Joe. Oh, Draken is coming in earlier than I thought he would. And everyone, Wise glares at him. Pino, I can't quite read her face. Homer, Draken Joe? And Happy looks up at Homer. Do you know him? One of the top warriors of this universe. One of the 6 galactic demon generals that are said to destroy worlds. What's wrong with you? You flinched. You flinched, didn't you? I like that. Seeing a girl's face in horror. Doesn't matter whose friend you are. You won't be left unpunished. Meanwhile, somewhere else on Digitalis, we see Hermit is on a cliffside. Ziggy, you're a liar. Even if there is a soul in a machine, human beings have no soul. Hermit's broken soul. What's the key to unlocking it? To be continued in chapter 33, The Girl on the Hill. Okay. I am hyped for this arc. Jamarov, I did not think this arc would really... I'm curious what Jamarov's friendship with Draken has to do with Digitalis. Is Draken responsible for Digitalis? I'm a little disappointed. This is absolutely a nitpick that they just kind of copied the Draken Joe panel from chapter 31, I think, or not 31, 28, I want to say. Here, I think it's kind of lazy. But whatever, that's the smallest of concerns. The rest of the chapter was really good. We have some more intrigue brewing on the Eden Zero, as someone, probably Jamarov related, is hacking into the ship. I'm not entirely sure though. Hopefully it will give Witch and Ivory something to do during this arc. Witch has kind of sat out most of the arc since her introduction. Ivory got some good stuff to do at the end of Gilst, but Ivory is not Witch has not done a lot, besides kind of provide exposition. So hopefully this arc will actually see her doing things, which would be nice. Then we had Digitalis. The monster is not a particularly interesting character. He's some more exposition. Maybe he'll have some more interesting personality, or more interesting. Maybe he'll contribute later on into the plot against Jamarov. But then the chapter just picks up incredibly once we reach Krysta. Just the shot of the NPC repeating her programmed line as she fades away is haunting and so cool. Oh, it's such a great moment. Jamarov is a little much of a villain, but like he's fine, you know. I don't that's more nitpicking. He's just like kind of like Oliga in the last arc. There's just like so over the top in his villainy that he's maybe a little hard to take serious. He might turn out to be a little hard to take seriously later on. So far though, he's already killed enough people that like, oh shit, he's a threat. Even if he is a bit of a clown. But yeah, that's a nitpick. Jamarov is cool so far. I'm not a particular fan of his design, I will admit, but his actions, his threat, his ties to the larger arc of the show, that's all a bunch of good shit. That's all a bunch of good shit. And I am here for it. But yeah, Jamarov is here. And we're in Krysta. We're close to Hermit. We have our first connection between our heroes and Drac and Joe. The chapter is just really, really moving the overarching plot along too, as well as the plot of the arc. And yeah, this is a great chapter. I'm gonna leave this video off here though. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or do whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. And as always, people, keep kicking ass, and I'll see you in the future. Bye.